Again to Real Talk with Sharon Simon, and with me today to talk on the topic how far is too far in being friends with a married person is.
Eboluwa Faith.
And
Sylvia David.
it's always nice to have you both on set with me.
Well, it's
Thank
always
you.
a pleasure.
Okay, so we all know that we have friends here and there, both single and married, and then in being friends with them, emotional attachment could begin to build up, and then entanglement comes into the equation. So I want to hear your thoughts on how far you think is too far when relating with a married person. So I'll start with you, Ebon.
All right, thank you. It's a wonderful talk.
Okay.
All right, how far? I mean, first of all, once you wake up in the morning
Mhm.
and the thought of this person comes to your mind, just know that you have gone too far already.
Really?
You have gone too far. So it's just for you to now see how you can reverse, the situation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So if I wake up in the morning and I have a friend, say Benga, and he's a married man,
Yeah.
and then the first thing that comes to my mind in the morning is Benga, does it mean I'm going too far?
Yes.
Thinking about Benga in the
I
morning?
totally disagree.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
can I-
You're going too far already.
I totally disagree.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't agree that when you wake up in the morning and you think about a particular person, being a married person is going too far. In some cases, it might just be
A form of concern.
yes, like there are instances where the Holy Spirit has just laid somebody in your heart or in your mind.
Yeah, I've
And
had
first
that
thing in the
several
morning,
times.
yes, and first thing in the morning, that person's thought just comes to your mind and you be like, I need to talk to Benga. It might just be that, purely that, and nothing.
Okay, so
beyond
maybe
that.
she
It
should
came-
shed
it
more
came to
light.
you-
Maybe she should shed more light
Yeah,
on
so
Exactly,
maybe
on
you
what
should
her
just
perspectives,
be
so we're
more
clear on that.
specific so that
Exactly. See
somebody
why, yeah,
doesn't
that's why I'm
go
laughing. Exactly.
adrift.
Okay,
You
let's
wake
hear
up
your
in the
thoughts.
morning. It's not like it's a one day thing. You
Okay.
wake. This is a friend, according to the background we have.
Yeah.
You're a friend with this person,
Mhm.
and then you wake up in the morning. You wake up in the morning. You wake up in the morning, and the thought of this person comes to your mind. You have already gone too far. Whether you're showing concern, who asked you to show concern? Who is asking you to show concern
Really?
when he
So
has
she
a
can
wife?
show?
When he has a wife, and I mean, assuming it's a male, partner.
So
I
you're
mean,
saying the Holy Spirit cannot assign you or direct your
all right,
thoughts
we
towards
thank
a
God for
particular
Put on your heart
intercessory-
that you
thank-
pray for
Thank
someone
you
or
for
be
the
concerned about
intercession.
someone.
Yes, it's good to be an intercessory partner. But when the Holy Spirit is putting someone's thought in your mind every day, I mean, just go and question the Holy Spirit. Ask the Holy Spirit to remove the thought of that person from your mind, because the only person that should be having is the thought of this person every day is the partner, is the spouse.
Okay,
And so you will not know that you have already gone too far.
Okay,
That's-
can I
that's
ask you a
the thing,
question?
yeah.
If you're saying only this person's spouse should have constant concern for the person, how
Yeah.
about cases where the spouse does not have constant concern for the person? Because I've seen cases where there's a spouse that does not give a hoot about how the partner is feeling, how the person feels emotionally, if the person is down financially, the person doesn't care. So if somebody else shows concern, maybe in the aspect of praying for the person or even trying to call, there have been cases where, or there are cases where this spouse, for instance, let me put myself in the picture. So for instance, if my friend Benga has a spouse who doesn't care about him, and maybe he relates with me and tells me about his family woes, and then I show concern, is that going too far? If I wake up in the morning, if I wake up in the morning and I choose to call, I'll be like, "Hello, Benga, how are you doing?
Okay,
How are things with you
come in
today?
here?
Are you feeling better than yesterday? Is that going too
that
far?"
Yes, that is absolutely too far.
Wow.
Because if a couple, once they are married,
Yeah.
resolve your issue between yourselves. He is not supposed to come and tell you.
He shouldn't take issues to third party.
When you're, I think she's trying to say that when you wake up in the morning and the first thing that comes to your mind is the thought of Benga, and it doesn't just happen once, it happens consistently. Now,
Exactly.
where I think
You have
it
gone too
becomes
far
a
already.
problem, or where I think you need to start drawing the line, is where the thoughts you begin to have of Benga Rather, the thoughts you are having of Benga when you wake up in the morning is where you should begin to draw a concern. What are the thoughts? What kind of thoughts do you have when
Exactly.
you
What
wake
kind
up?
of
Are they
thoughts?
thoughts of you want to be with Benga? You want to
In what way do you want to
yes,
be with Benga?
of course, be with Benga. Whether you
Yeah.
want to just hang out with him or you want to be in a room alone with him.
You don't even need to go that far. So far,
Ehem.
you wake up and then you think of this guy and you think of the problem he has. Consistently, if you are not careful, you are connecting. There's this spiritual connection, telepathy. You're already connecting. And this guy is going through issues. Before you know it, you realize that the guy will be looking for somewhere to
A
rest,
shoulder
a
to
shoulder
lean
to
on.
lean on.
So is it
And
an
when you are
offense?
making that shoulder
Let me-
available, you are already
let me
you
ask
have
this
already
question.
crossed
I
the
think
path.
Is it wrong to be a shoulder for a friend to lean on?
When the
If
shoulder-
the person is married,
yes, it's wrong.
it depends on what kind of shoulder you are now. Where
Yeah.
I want
It
to
depends.
agree with
It
what you
depends.
just said again is if you're consistently thinking about the person and his problems and all that. Now, if Benga doesn't share his problem, I believe if you're marrying a partner, if you're marrying a wife or a husband, that person should be your prayer partner, your gisting partner, your boss, everything
Yeah.
put in one. Now, if Benga cannot share the bulk of his problem with his wife, then you should know that is a red flag. Now,
And
where
sharing
your
it with
where
you.
your where
So
your where
if-
your place come in as a or rather where you come in as a friend is in your ability, or where that shoulder comes to play is in your ability to advise Benga. Okay,
Advice,
Benga,
yes.
you are going through this thing. Have you shared it with your
Go
wife?
back
What
to
is
your
her
wife.
attitude
good.
towards it?
So what happens if he has already shared with his wife and his wife doesn't want to listen?
Then tell him to seek counseling because you are not
Exactly.
his counselor.
So as a friend to a married person, you can't be his counselor.
You can't be his
It's
counselor
dangerous.
because you are not in that.
It's
See,
dangerous.
I
the
believe I'm
problem
of the
it's a
opinion that you
dangerous
can be his
position to
counselor,
be.
but like she has said, it's a dangerous position to be.
dangerous
that is why
if you don't know
can't
where
be,
to
because
draw the lines.
even when you go to counselors, they tell you that there shouldn't they don't entertain personal relationship with their clients. It's strictly professional.
Professional.
When you meet a counselor, that's one of the first
Because
things
these
they
are
tell
emotional
you.
issues.
Because
Emotional issues, yeah.
the closer the heart is, I don't even know how to put
The
English,
more they
but
relate, the fonder
yes,
the heart
yes.
begins.
Yeah.
And the way the devil plays his card is people don't understand. The devil plays his card. There's something I discovered recently. When you are single, the level of emotional sensitivity you have as a single person is way more than when you are married. Both sexual, mental, fit. When your emotional, your feelings are just heightened to
Yeah.
a very ridiculous level. You discover that by the time you marry, all those things you used to feel as a single person, they are just
So you need
basic.
a lot of hard work.
So
Consistent
by the time you are
hard work,
relating to
yeah.
a married man and he's showing you he's being friendly, he's listening to your problem, you are listening to his problem, before you know one corner of your mind, your emotion go start to develop. You start feeling, I like this person. No.
He
In
understands.
fact,
He
you're already
knows how to put me.
you're already dating. I
oh
mean,
my
the
God.
truth is you are already dating. You just don't know, and that is why we hear stories of I didn't see it coming. The guy he just came in
Because you
and
never
he just
see
came
it
closer to me
coming.
and he just held me
You never
and we
see
just
it
The
coming.
feelings
That's
of
the
the
truth.
heart,
don't
you
see-
never
mean,
see it coming.
because
It
you
just
never see it
happens
coming.
because
like
you've
that.
been dating because you've
Okay,
been
okay.
dating.
Let me
And
come
you
in.
don't
Let me
know.
come in with this dating thing
You
you're
don't know
talking
about
about.
it. Yeah.
So being friends with a married person is more like a dating procedure. Is that what you're saying? Because, for instance, if a guy is married and he has a friend, a female friend, maybe he hangs out with her, maybe after work, as colleagues, they go maybe take a drink, buy burger or shawarma, and eat. And
While
one
the
thing or
wife
the
is at
other.
home,
While the wife is at home, doesn't mean they are dating, because it could just be
and one
after
person,
work hours,
I'm
friends
one
just go to
person
hang out.
that don't support that. Not
Oh,
because it's bad,
it's
but because
definitely
it's an
Oh my.
avenue for the devil to play tricks. The moment you leave your wife at home, she's cooking
You're
dinner
hanging
and
out
you are
with
hanging
somebody
out
else.
with
I mean,
BC
yeah,
in the
there's no-
eatery.
yeah.
If it's not business that people are talking about, I don't see. Except maybe you will say, okay, BC, you can invite her over self to your house to come and have dinner with you and your wife, rather than hang out with her. Because see, truth is, we don't understand how that is how the devil takes the slightest opportunity we give him and plays his trick so
Okay.
bad that you will not see it coming.
Okay, let me shed more light on that, or let me paint a picture with what you've just said. You could be hanging out with BC in public. Somebody else could see you hanging out with BC.
And
It
take
could
the
just
wrong
be it could just be
Exactly.
an innocent hangout, but it could be easily misinterpreted. And then by the time it gets to the ears of your partner, how it will be interpreted, you will not be able to explain.
Exactly.
So it's
Exactly.
more like it's better being safe and not
sorry.
putting yourself in certain positions
Yeah.
where you have to explain yourself and your
Mhm.
explanations will
Yeah.
not count.
Or
Because what meets the eye sometimes cannot be better explained with words.
Mhm.
Okay, there's this particular scenario I witnessed of a lady receiving a call from the wife of a friend, and then
Okay.
she was threatening this particular lady, and aside threatening, she went as far as saying the lady was going to die if the lady was lying to her that she was not having
Wow.
an affair with her
Wow.
husband.
Wow.
The
Wow.
lady was trying to explain herself that they are just friends and there's nothing beyond work with them. Truth is, she could actually be saying the truth.
Okay.
But it could be that the wife was there noticing certain
Or-
symptoms on
or-
the part of the
or-
husband,
Yeah.
and then she's trying to
The man
defend
has
or
been-
protect her territory.
Yeah.
She could have even probably seen chats. Maybe the chats are becoming recurrent, and then she's not comfortable with it. And in her mind, she's like, if my husband has to be chatting this much with this lady, then there's something cooking.
Can I?
And then
Oh,
can I
no, let me
come in?
finish.
Yeah.
Let me finish. So this particular woman called the lady and said, throwing tantrums, accusing her. The lady was trying to defend herself, but to no avail. The wife did not just have any of her explanations. It got to the point where the woman said, if you're lying to me, then you will die. The
Wow.
lady responded with, if I am lying to you, I should die. But if I'm not lying, you should die. Now,
Wow.
Who
to
will
what
die?
the wife should
Who will
die.
die? Really?
So what crossed my mind was, seriously? So you die or she dies and then the guy is still alive.
And then
One of you dies and then
Now-
he moves on with his life.
now-
Really?
Yeah.
Now, what I want to ask is, if you are a man or a woman and your partner is beginning to become insecure because of a relationship with someone, no matter how
yeah.
honest or fishy the relationship might be,
Just
what should you
cut
do?
it.
In the beginning, you shouldn't even give your partner a room or the reason to doubt your relationships outside.
Okay.
Now, this lady in
There's
question,
quality
this lady
communication,
in question
yeah.
might honestly be just a friend to this guy in question.
True.
But the guy has probably translated their relationship and given too much meaning to it that is beginning to affect
his
how
relationship,
his relationship with his
spouse.
wife. Now, when you marry me, see, that's one thing that I feel people in relationships or people that are married should know. Once you marry a particular person, you are already dedicating your entire life to
Yeah,
that
yeah.
person. You are dedicating your friendship. You are dedicating your intimacy. So you can't.
That doesn't mean you're not going to have friends.
That doesn't mean you're not going to have friends,
however,
because that's
however,
where I'm about to
another
come
side
I'm
in.
not even done.
Okay.
You should be able to measure the kind of person your spouse is. Whether is the kind of person that is easily if the person easily gets jealous, if the person easily gets
Yeah.
insecure, you should be able, so that
And
these kind of
protect
things
the
yes,
interest of
maybe
your partner.
like me,
Yeah.
I would even prefer hello babe, how far, invite the person home safe. It cuts away any issue
Any form
of
of
suspicion.
suspicion.
That is not true. Okay, the guy may try to do that, but that doesn't stop anything. And this is just the truth. It stops
But
nothing.
it
I have
could
seen men,
reduce the
they will not even
level
send
of
text
suspicion
message.
that
You
we
will
build
have
up.
no idea. They can even be sleeping with their house help. You will have no idea. You will not know. They will be mean in front of the wife. They will be mean in front of the family. They will look as if they have nothing to do with this person, but you have no idea what is happening. Forget. Oh my.
So as
Trust
the
me.
lady, then the lady, you are the one with the
Yeah.
problem.
So
Not even the
well,
guy.
well, these are issues that comes up in relationships. So whether you are perfect or you're not perfect, I mean, these are just issues, and that's just the truth. I mean, even men that probably they decided that they're going to be so committed to their wives today, tomorrow things happen, shit happen, things happen. You understand? And so I would just say it is always good to have a good relationship with the Holy Spirit, because I know that when you have a good relationship with the Holy Spirit, it will show you, reveal things to you ahead. It will tell you things. It will inform you ways on how to do things, what to do, what not to do. Do you know that I'm going to use myself as an example? Do you know that there was a man that I met? I would not want to say anything that might want to point to that man. There was a man that I met. The man usually advised me. He advises me a lot. He was acting more like a mentor to me, and I noticed that the man was beginning to like me. I noticed that whenever I want to go to his office, he likes to see me last. Like, you will see everybody,
then
and I'll wait till everybody is gone. And even his wife, he can even tell his wife to go. I mean, the office is so big, and he can even tell the wife to go somewhere, and he wants to see me separately, or probably he wants to send me text message and ask me to delete the messages, even though they are just,
Wow.
I mean, normal. How are you? Just ordinary. How are you?
Plus
Now
good
that person
inability.
Just yeah. So they just want to. So and I started noticing that I naturally was just liking this guy, and the guy was liking me, and he's married, and what put
Okay,
me
let
through
me
was the
ask. Let
Holy
me let
Spirit.
me come
That's
in.
why I got
You
this
said
example.
naturally liking the guy. Could you shed more light on that so that
I
we
was
get
just
the
liking.
perspective?
I was just liking because the guy was advising me. I love the. I was attracted to the
You
wisdom.
like the
The
relationship.
The wisdom the man. I mean, his wisdom.
People have things
It
that they
wasn't
are
like,
attracted
yes,
to.
it wasn't like maybe I even liked him sexually. No, 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 no. I just knew that I started liking him more. You understand? Like I see
His personality,
his personality, his
intelligence, and all of that.
intelligence. I love the wisdom, that God gave him. He was able to manage everything he has. I mean, telling me the story. So what? One day the Holy Spirit just cautioned me that be very careful. This man is a helper. I heard, be careful. This man is so, because I noticed that for me as a person, when I start thinking and meditating on something, that thing comes to life. That thing becomes reality.
Law
And
of
so
attraction.
yeah, so from our mind, even whether a man or a guy or a female or whoever, from your mind, once you notice that, I mean, you start sensing that you're beginning to like someone unnecessarily, and this person is married, from your mind, the thing starts from your mind. Decide, make a decision that, okay, this is where you want to place this person, in order not to spoil the guy's home or relationship. I mean, or even you don't know the kind of spirit that is working with you, so that the thing will not just become so real. And
But
that's
there are
just the
people
truth.
who are vicious, There are
Yeah.
people who are vicious that even when they realize that they are beginning to like this person because they want to snatch the person from the wife, they will not treat it with caution, even though they claim that they have a relationship
That's why
with
it's
the
good to
Holy
have the Holy
Spirit.
Spirit.
Okay,
And you listen to the Holy
let me
Spirit.
come in here. So we've spoken and aired our hearts as relating to today's topic. If you don't have feelings towards this married person, but the married person is already showing you traits of being
Yeah, that
attracted to
yeah.
you, how do you cut off the person, or what do you advise? Should the person just cut off from this person and stop being friends, or should the person draw a line? What do you think
Yes.
the
From
person
the
should do?
beginning of
Okay.
your relationship with the person, there should be a line, there should be a boundary that should not be crossed. But when you begin to find out that you know
Boundaries are
that
crossed.
the person is crossing the boundary by beginning to fall in love with you or beginning to like you excessively, you withdraw
Or
yourself.
even if you yourself,
You are
you're
beginning,
already,
yes, you
yeah.
withdraw yourself.
Yeah.
And if it means for you to cut off completely, aside from you preserving your relationship with Christ, it also you preserving your dignity as a person.
Okay, so
If
if you try
Yeah.
to, because there are people, like you said, who are vicious. You painted that from the part of the single person who is relating with the married person. Now, let me paint it from the married person's perspective. There are some married people who are vicious that even if you tell them off, they'll still keep trying.
report them.
So
Yeah.
what do you
You
advise?
report
They
them
report
to
them
their
to
spouse
who?
or to
No, you
somebody.
don't do that. You don't break the home.
Ah,
You have no. That is not the way to go. Honestly, trust me, that is not the way to go.
You're not breaking the home.
You are breaking the home.
You're not breaking
You will
the
break
home.
the home.
You're not breaking
You will
the
break
home.
the
will break the
home
home.
if
You will break
the
the home.
other partner you're going to report to
Yeah.
is not emotionally mature.
Yes.
Because
So,
you don't know the ability to handle
yes, exactly.
such things. So you have
Yes.
to understand, if I'm going to report this person to his spouse, is that the right option? And
No,
if
it
that's the
won't be
right option,
yeah.
if you think that's the right option, how do you think the person will handle it?
You just cut off.
Because you can
Yeah.
never tell
What
how
she's
they'll handle
saying
it.
now
You cut
is when
off.
you cut off and the person is
Still insist.
No, you still cut off. There's no way, except if the person wants to come and rape you.
Haven't you seen people who
you
stop?
cut off. Oh,
Haven't you seen people
okay,
who
if
stop?
you have problem cutting off, guys, reach out to me. I'll teach you.
Wow.
I'll teach you.
Okay.
You cut
I
off.
think that's going to be another topic for another
Yeah.
day. How
You
to
teach
cut
us how
off
to cut
Yeah.
how
off.
to cut off from
Yeah.
a married person who is persistently
yeah, on
disturbing
you.
you
Mhm.
for a relationship that
Yes.
you're no longer interested in. I think that's going to be our next episode. If you really
Who is
enjoyed
bribing you
this
with car?
episode, then stay tuned to this channel and look out for the next discussion. How to cut away from a married person who persistently disturbs you for a relationship
Yeah.
you're no longer interested in. Good night, guys. God bless you.
Bye.